Would you say that everyone could go as an entrepreneur? Or do we have to have like specific skills to go on that path? Is it for everyone?
Yes, it is for everyone.
Okay.
And I'm saying this because, in the third dimension or in the old paradigm, we are told that we need to follow different business schools and, graduate MBAs and all sorts of stuff in order to build a business. And in the fifth dimensional consciousness and paradigm, the new paradigm that's kind of opening up on this planet, it's like everyone can build a business if they are excited to share their gifts and talents with the world.
Welcome everyone to this podcast. I'm very, very happy to host it. It's about entrepreneurship. It's about authenticity. And I have my very, very first guest, Livia Devi. Hello, Livia.
Hello, Andre, and thank you for having me here.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Likewise, I feel like it's going to be an amazing conversation. I'm excited.
Yes, I think so. Maybe for the people who doesn't know you, what I understand about what you are doing, so you wrote a book, you speak a lot in public, and you help a lot of entrepreneurs to find their soul mission, their purpose, and to expand from there. It's like you have the skill to open consciousness. Is it okay if I say it like this? Yeah.
Yes.
And you feel connect to different dimensions. Yeah.
Yes.
I have so many questions, Livia. For someone that is very logical like me, how can you explain this different dimension thing?
Thank you. So I feel like I should offer a context a little bit for our audience in explaining how I got here.
Yes.
And then we go into the dimensional
okay, let's do it that
explanation.
way.
I have a corporate background, so I worked for 15 years for corporate America, and I was an executive managing many people there into an IT company. And then one day I had this shift in consciousness that placed me onto a spiritual path. And this is when I start actually...
Is it an event that happened to you?
Yes, it was an activation in 2016. Okay. I had an event that was similarly looking with a burnout, but it was mainly an activation and a restart of my consciousness, of my mind, of my brain. And I felt like I was moving from, living in the mind and translating and relating with my reality from the mind consciousness into the heart consciousness. So that was 2016 was a major point. And
did it happen what did you feel in your body? How did you know this switch was happening?
I didn't actually. So I woke up in the morning. I had 25 people waiting for me online to just log in and just deliver a Zoom meeting. And I fainted on the couch. I woke up after 1 hour. And when I woke up, I was hearing millions of voices in my head. This was the moment when I start actually inquiring what's happening with me. Being a very logical person, I thought that I'm just going through a burnout or I have a mental clash because I was managing multiple projects and I was under stress.
Yes.
But then what we found out, me and the people that actually helped me, it was one person that actually helped me to understand is that I was awakening and I was tapping into, the connection with my soul and higher consciousness.
Was it scary?
Very scary. It was a total reset and unexpected.
Yeah.
It's
like you see the world through a different filter.
You actually immediately start to zoom out from your own reality and you start to see that there are so many options around you that you never considered before. And it was life-changing. And this is when I start to connect with these higher dimensional beings that I call the 7D Actuarian Council of Light. And, I didn't have physical or human teachers. All this shift in consciousness happened through non-physical beings that were my teachers. And for a
Okay.
very logical person to have this experience was something that it completely changed my mindset, but completely changed how I saw reality. And, the amount of data and information that I tapped in
Yeah.
was huge.
Is it like voices you hear, or is it like, do you see it also?
Both.
Okay.
So, in 2017, I became a trance channel. So what does that mean? It means that I go into a trance and these beings are flowing through my physical body and they are speaking through me.
Okay.
And they are using my voice and my hands, and, they are bringing technology from the 7th dimension and different technologies like sound, color, plasma light, crystalline technology that doesn't exist on planet Earth, that is non-physical, but
Okay.
people at the 4th-dimensional consciousness is able to connect to it and shift their consciousness. So what can
So when you speak that way and people listen to you, is it like healing them, parts of them, opening their heart?
Everything at once is healing, opening their hearts, shifting their consciousness, shifting, like moving from one reality to another, releasing blockages in their physical body, energetic body, light bodies, connecting also with their higher self and a higher consciousness. So everyone is experiencing differently.
Yes.
And it's a very powerful transformation. But then as the work evolved, and in 2019, the council and I, we start to bring a structure to this. We start to activate leaders in their soul mission. And also we help people to actually bridge their divine gifts with the world. Because I have a corporate background and I have an entrepreneurial mindset. And then this huge life-changing transformation came into my life. I decided to actually bridge with the corporate world and through entrepreneurial communities in bringing them into a spot of creating businesses that are aligned with their soul.
Yes. So let's go back in time, Livia, because so you have these gifts opening for you. You have the two steps in the corporate world. I mean, I guess you stopped that work.
I did.
And then you start that new one.
Yes.
How do you start? Because I've seen many people saying like, oh, it's difficult to start. I don't feel legitimate. I'm scared about showing myself like differently, that how people know me. How do you do this transition,
For me, it was a total shift in identity. And
so you couldn't do it differently?
No, I couldn't go back to an old version of myself anymore.
Okay.
And the way this higher consciousness worked through me is that they went into my subconscious mind and they deleted all conditioning layers, all trauma, subconscious programming, everything that was keeping me stuck within a 3rd dimensional reality, that I was comfortable there, but I didn't even know that there is so much more beyond that.
Yeah.
So when they start to deprogram my subconscious mind, my identity shift, my frequency elevated, and my consciousness, my higher consciousness came back into my body. And then I after 6 months into this process, I was a completely different person.
Okay.
And I couldn't even relate to the work I was doing, to the people we used to work with. It was a complete shift.
Yes. I think since COVID, many people are in that place. Like, I don't resonate anymore with my previous life job, who I was. I feel something different. And many of them say like, where should I start? How do I know what's my path? What would you say?
During the COVID, many people actually had time to go deeper within their hearts and souls. And many had the time to actually ask questions that they never asked themselves before. And those questions were very, very much related with, what are they excited about? How do they want to live their life? What freedom means to them? How do they want to move forward with their life and business? And I feel like this is when the shift started happening in the collective consciousness for this planet. Everyone was so contracted and constricted their own space, and they were not allowed to go outside. And when that freedom was taken from them, they start actually to fight back for their own individuality and sovereignty. COVID also created an independency and sovereignty, because like people start to become less codependent. They start to ask questions. How my life would look like if I'm not going back to that job.
Yes.
So I feel like for those people that start asking questions about their own existence, about, what freedom means to them, what abundance means to them, what love means to them, what, community means to them, then, the answers are in their heart consciousness. So many people are choosing their paths based on fear and control and unsafety. And it came a time and space during COVID that many people start to actually choose differently. So for someone that wants to make a shift from fear-based consciousness to love-based consciousness, to heart, is to actually start by tuning into what excites them, what truly excites them.
Okay. So that's the main question to start.
Yes.
What excites me? When do my energy levels up? Okay.
Yes. Because nobody can tell them or give them a path. I see there are still in the spiritual world and entrepreneurial world, so many mentors that are trying to tell so many people what to do and how to build their life or business. And what I found out is that this doesn't work. People have to ask themselves, okay, what is so exciting for me that I want to share with the world?
Mm-hmm.
What really makes me happy?
Yes.
Where do I see myself next week or next month or in 1 year?
Mm-hmm.
How do I want to live my life?
Yeah. That's how you did for yourself?
No, for me, it was different.
Because the switch
happened and I was just already plugged into another stream of consciousness, another reality where I start to feel in all self of my being what freedom is, happiness, joy, laughter, excitement, curiosity, wonder, So I was already there exploring the infinite possibilities that are available for us. Although, before I always thought that I don't have much choices or possibilities.
How did you start? Did you start like with the social media? Did you start to speak to people? If you have to go like back in time, how did you? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, well, I started to organize life events. I started to organize life trans-channeling events.
So what topic was it?
There are different topics that were chosen by the 70 Arcturian Council of Light, like activating heart consciousness, activating your third eye, activating your soul, activating different activations.
So it's like they told you what subject you could share.
Yes.
And you just like rent a place and start an event.
Yes.
Where was it?
In Ireland.
Oh, really?
I started my first workshops in Ireland. I remember that I started doing, workshops in Dublin. There were like so many people coming.
Were you scared?
Very scared.
What did scare you at that time?
The form and shape of how I trans-channel. And I was self-conscious about sharing this gift with the world that, especially in Europe, is not well known. People don't know how to relate to that type of expression. We are speaking in the end about interdimensional beings streaming through a person.
Mm-hmm.
And people are afraid of the unknown and, consciousness that is speaking through others. United States is more open than that, but Europe at that time.
Yes, I know. I'm from Europe.
Yes.
It's more open in the US, of course, yes.
And, the guidance that I receive from the council is to trust, to never doubt, and to go in that space, completely surrender myself to the experience and let what, these divine messages and activations that are meant for the collective that was in front of me to flow through me effortlessly.
Yeah, it's a surrendering.
Yes. So I completely surrendered to, and I trusted the process.
Okay.
You know, like surrender and trust are very powerful concepts for everyone nowadays,
Yes.
especially for people, you know, transitioning from, you know, the corporate world into building their own businesses, or, you know, they're going through massive changes in their lives, you know.
Yeah.
Surrender and trust is actually, you know, so powerful for each and one of us because it's leading us to the next level.
Yeah. So you start these gatherings, and then what happens? So you share this channeling. It helps people. You mean you see results, you see
Instantly.
transformation?
Instant transformation after one transmission. Like at the end of the workshops, everyone was completely changed. And then it was like the word started spreading around the world because somehow in my events, there were people that they were all over the world. And I always feel like it was a divine alignment because everyone was coming there for a specific reason and in complete alignment, you know, like aligned 100%. Then I was invited to go to New Zealand and do this work. And then I traveled to Australia.
Okay.
And then I traveled to Bali in Indonesia. And I lived for 3 years in Bali, and was a huge explosion of my business in those all these countries. And then I decided to build a business in 2019 because I had no business structure, you know.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I'm sharing all these events with the world, but where is this taking me? And how can I actually serve more people?
Yes.
And how I can actually create something that it feels more effortlessly for me. Because you know what's interesting is that I came from a corporate world and I have an entrepreneurial mindset, but then I moved into being a complete spiritual being.
Yes.
And I find it very hard to actually connect to systems and build a business. But then I realized I need, you know, I cannot be in this extreme, but I cannot be in the other extreme either. So I have to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, that was my next question, because when we live this kind of openness, we can be lost in that world and lose the roots, you know?
Oh, I've been through that.
And so it's like when I listen to you, I'm like, oh, she has like one step in the spiritual world and she has one other one in the very logical, and so it's a nice balance. So how did you do to find that balance?
Oh, it didn't happen overnight.
Okay.
I remember that this is a funny story. Actually, I traveled to India immediately after I started doing this work. And I was so much into that unity consciousness and fifth dimensional consciousness that I arrived in India. I had a bag full of clothes and, you know, equipment and stuff. I give away everything I own to an Indian family. I'm buying these white clothes from a shop on the street. I'm giving away like all my good branded clothes because I was going through a transformation, you know.
And it was like the clothes you had was part of your previous identity?
Yes. And I felt like I need to actually go through like a purification.
Yes.
And a release, and to try to find myself beyond that previous identity. And I remember I stayed 3 months in India and I meditated on top of the mountain on the highest peak where the Shiva temple is. I stayed there and it was, you know, the conditions were so basic, you know, and I was wearing only white clothes. And then after 3 months of being in India, I realized, and you know, the council was telling me, it's like, you finished your meditation, you finished your purification, you finished your transformation, now it's time to go into the world. And I didn't know how to come out into the world. So in that moment, I realized that if I stay, you know, on top of the mountain or in a cave and I hide myself, that's not going to help and serve people. So I have to emerge into the world and I have to bring the knowledge that I gathered in the past decades with me into a form and structure that I'm more relatable. I went through so much identity shifts, you know, like in India, I started to have a following there. And I felt how I was going into this guru identity. And I said, no, I don't want that. This is not about this. It's about empowering people. It's about equality and equanimity and about, you know, awakening those gifts within others.
Yes.
for them to understand that they can do what I am, and they can actually relate to me, because all these gifts that I has been awakened within myself are available to everyone.
Yeah.
And that was my mission. So then I remember I came back to India in United States, and I had to just focus on building something that is relatable and can help many people.
Yeah. Do you have like some discipline to ground yourself?
Yes. Well, now my work is very grounded, and I feel very grounded myself. I have a routine. I wake up in the morning, I meditate, I play with some 7-dimensional technologies, I do some quantum marketing and sales for my business, and then I ground, then I go into nature.
Okay.
Then I, connect. I feel very much into my physical body.
Yes.
In the past years, maybe 2-3 years.
Okay.
I don't feel out there, in my upper chakras. I'm very much here, present in this here and now.
Okay.
And, the way I'm actually bridging with spiritual people that are very much going through these massive awakenings when they go into their upper chakras.
Yeah.
And they externalize their consciousness. So I help them come back into their physical bodies and build something that is sustainable and it's relatable.
Yes.
And then I work with entrepreneurs and business people that they are not spiritual at all, that they open up their heart consciousness and start building something that is aligned with their soul. So I'm a bridge, for different communities right now.
Okay. Would you say that everyone could go as an entrepreneur? Or do we have to have like specific skills to go on that path? Is it for everyone?
Yes, it is for everyone.
Okay.
And I'm saying this because, in the third dimension or in the old paradigm, we are told that we need to follow different business schools and, graduate MBAs and all sorts of stuff in order to build a business. And in the fifth dimensional consciousness and paradigm, the new paradigm that's kind of opening up on this planet, it's like everyone can build a business if they are excited to share their gifts and talents with the world.
Yes. Yes.
Then along the way, that's the most important part. Along the way, they learn about business and structure and, marketing and sales and, customer service and everything that comes with it.
Yeah. Online, there are a lot of messages about manifestation. And I see some people that can be lost in that thing. Like, oh, I just have to start my business and meditate and manifest that it will go this way and the universe will make it happen. But I see on a very grounded way that you have to take a lot of actions and overcome fears and overcome obstacles. It's much more than just wishing something to happen,
I like this. And it's true. When you are an entrepreneur, you are completely committed and devoted to the journey and to grow with it and shift identity and, pivot and always look for ways of actually promoting your business and, accessing more people and serving. So you definitely need to take action and have a structure. Without it, only wishful thinking, nothing is happening.
Yes. Since 2017, you're sharing messages.
Yes.
So you've shared like thousands of messages and information. What would you say is the one that was the most amazing that you shared? Something that you just channeled and then you were, oh, wow, that's so powerful.
I always have this actually when I listen back to the transmissions, because when I channel, I'm completely out from my body and then I don't recall the messages that were shared and the time that passed.
Okay.
So I have to re-listen to the transmission. But I feel like through conscious channeling, when I am awake and like speaking, sometimes it's flowing through me information that I am always, wondering myself, where is this coming from? Because it's so advanced and I didn't read about it. But I feel like the most interesting part is about teaching quantum physics.
Okay.
and merging quantum physics with spirituality, and especially with consciousness. So teaching people how actually applying quantum physics principles to consciousness, how they actually can create their reality. And this is always fascinating for me. And then recently, because the 70 Actuarian Council of Light, they are so passionate about technology, and especially medical technology. We like to have conversations with different doctors and people that are creating medical technology, or neuroscientists, or people that are expanding and are working towards expansion of consciousness, but also well-being of the physical body. And we are always passionate about learning what's available on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And how this actual technology is helping us, and how we can actually bridge with more advanced available tools that are available on the 4-dimensional bridge, which is non-physical. So these are kind of the area. The Actuarian Council of Light is very technical. They are very technical in a way. They love everything about, approaching consciousness through technology.
Yes. When you connect to some dimensions like that, I could guess there are a lot of forces there. There are good ones and there are maybe darker forces. How do you manage that? Because I give you an example. Many years ago, I was in a relationship with a spiritual teacher in Europe, and I think like being connected to each other and going through some events, things opened for me energetically, and I started to hear and see dead souls. And they were really like queuing to give me messages so I can tell that messages to the living people for their family. And I was thinking like I'm going crazy, and I was so scared. And I felt very alone to face that. And I went to a psychologist saying, hey, I need help because it's like I'm going crazy. She said, oh, that's amazing. That's a beautiful gift. I mean, many people wish to be connected to that world. And I said, I don't care about helping dead souls. I mean, they are not dead, but we don't see them in a physical body. I want to help living people. And I said it like very straight, and it stopped instantly. So for me, it was very scary to open that connection to that world. So I'm curious to know, how do you manage that? Because I've met a lot of people channeling, and they also say, yeah, they can be connected to very dark forces, and they have to have a lot of discipline and a lot of cleaning for themselves. So, yeah, I'm curious to know how you manage that.
And thank you for sharing this story. And I'm smiling because because before becoming a trans channel, actually, I was so like I was I came across, I think something got activated within me, and I had this experience that you had as well.
Okay.
And then I became a trans channel, and I got excited about Keoro shamanism. And I learned from some shamans from Peru how to actually, do these rites of passage. And I remember that I got excited and I opened up the words that I mentioned, exactly as you said, with people that were in non-physical and they were asking for help. And the council told me that you need to close that door.
Okay.
Because you are not meant, your mission on this planet is not meant to help souls to go into the light.
Yes.
And, this was a valuable lesson for me because, at that moment in time, if I wouldn't have had a council, I would probably be like any other channeler on this planet where everyone is kind of opening their crown chakra to everything that is in the quantum field.
Yeah.
And there is a lot in the quantum field. There is like full spectrum of consciousness, from the lower dimensional beings to the higher dimensional beings. So the quantum field is a space of infinite frequencies and, possibilities. So it's like, it's very important where you are tuning in.
Yes.
And the tuning in is through your intention, your free will, and your command. So, for example, I am not a multi-dimensional channel because I didn't choose to, which means that I'm only connecting with the 7D Arcturian Council of Light and the 12D Sirius Council of Light. And these are communication lines that goes to them, and they are protected. I don't tune in anywhere else, even if I have the ability to do so. And this is because, as you said, there is everything. And there are also lower dimensional civilizations, that they try to corrupt and intercept and interfere with people's lives. And there is so much confusion within the channeling community because there are people that are channeling information, but they don't know where they're channeling from.
Yeah, that's what I guessed.
Yes.
And many people can listen to them like it's the truth. So how do we know?
Yes. So how do we know is to tune into our heart consciousness and whatever resonates and, with us. Because lower dimensional beings, they are very, how to say, they are not in unity consciousness, equality, and equanimity. They are very much, have a target. They always have, they want to corrupt, they want to influence, that they have their own agenda. While the higher dimensional beings, multi-dimensional beings, they have no agenda. They are not superior. They don't like to be placed on a pedestal. They are even telling, it's like, don't look at me as something that is outside of your, on a higher dimension, because this creates a gap between you and us. See us as being your friend, just sitting next to you and having a conversation.
Yes.
But, in the channeling world, and, now on planet Earth, everyone is opening to channel. Everyone is opening within the higher dimension. And there is no education or proper guidelines on how to actually manage yourself within that space. And,
maybe you could start that.
Well, we are
Livia.
teaching within one of our programs. We have only one program where we open people to channel.
Yeah.
And we are teaching the guidelines and we are setting up the right communication lines, but we cannot do it for everyone, you see. So it's like, it's very much free will.
I would love to speak a little bit about entrepreneurship and authenticity. How can you be yourself fully and share what you have to share to the world? I see so many people that have so many good intentions and they start their businesses, and then it's like they have so many breaks and obstacles and beliefs and fears, and it's difficult to them to show them as they are, like truly,
Yes.
Is there any recipe for that? How can you be like yourself and expand and embrace your light fully? I think it's the deepest fear.
Well, to be authentic means to allow yourself to be who you are. But maybe many people don't know who they are because they are playing the game of identity. When you ask a person, who are you? They will try to give you definitions about who they are.
Yes, I am a coach, I'm a teacher, I am a...
Yes. Yeah. And by all these definitions creates identities that are limiting their expression into the world.
Yes.
Because their expression is coming from their, consciousness, which is their innate intelligence that is flowing through them, like infinite intelligence that is flowing through them.
Yeah.
And which is God's source consciousness in the end. And then, who they are is this, their unique signature, soul signature, like who are you beyond your identity, beyond this incarnation, like who you are at the multidimensional level, and why did you came here on planet Earth, and what is your message, and how are you delivering? When people are tapping into this, then they start actually working in their subconscious mind in releasing everything that they are not.
Yes.
And when you know who you are, there is a confidence in you and a trust, and you know how to navigate this world and nothing can stop you. And it's very much connected to how you embody the higher consciousness, because if you compare yourself with others, if you open a business and you look always on the market and, compare your prices with others, compare your services with others, compare your marketing strategy, your brand with others, then you will not go anywhere. Because if you want to be successful, you need to actually build a business with your soul, which is placing you as the only option for your niche clients.
Yes. Yes.
And, people are asking me, it's like, how do you do like your market research and everything? And it's like, I'm not comparing myself with my competitors in any way, because what I'm offering is unique and doesn't exist on planet Earth.
Yes.
So then I have all, this flexibility and freedom to build and structure my business, my pricing and everything the way I feel good and the way I feel is in resonance.
Yeah.
But, I think this is why people are feeling so many roadblocks and they are not going to the next level and they are always in fear consciousness because they compare themselves with others. And then it's coming all this programming, not being enough, not having the confidence to share your message and the voice with the world, feeling that, all this, inner child programming.
Yeah.
From different cultures, then they have to start doing a lot of deprogramming, like cultural deprogramming, societal deprogramming, family deprogramming, ancestral healing, like all of that.
Yeah.
In order to, every person is like this beautiful diamond that is coated with coal that you need to release the layer in order to let your light shine into the world.
Do you think we all have a soul mission by being incarnated here?
Yes. And, some people have a soul mission that involves others. Some people are just here to just be.
Yeah.
And, the most important thing when someone is in their mission is the joy and happiness and the freedom that they're experiencing.
Yes. So if we follow that joy, that happiness, that's our soul mission. Because sometimes I ask you, because sometimes people say like, oh, as soon as I know my soul mission, I will start. And I realize it's something that you find on the way. If you follow what makes you joyful and happy, and you find it on the way, you know what I mean?
So, when it comes to activation, so if you take, the soul mission outside and we are looking at people and activating them into their pure embodiment and pure power and pure transmission, when those people get activated, they don't need to do anything. They just need to be themselves, because in that moment, source is streaming through them. And no matter where they are placed on planet Earth, they're anchoring on the grids of the planet and they are influencing the collective. Because in the moment a person is activated, they are evolving regardless if they want to evolve or not. They are shifting, parallel alternate realities into a faster, accelerated pace when they are not, compared with when they are not activated. Then in that space, if they find the excitement to do something and share this, their unique, abilities with the world, this is when they can actually be expressed in their soul mission. But, so many people actually are thinking, oh my God, I feel overwhelmed. There is so much going on planet Earth, from wars to, different things, where the nervous system of every person right now is really struggling.
Yes.
And people don't want to be given a mission where they have to take so much responsibility and they will feel overwhelmed that if they don't do their mission, then they are not good in front of God, source consciousness, whatever.
Yes.
So what's important is that, firstly, when you are fully activated into your I am presence, it's just enough to just be. Then if you get excited in building something or expressing who you are as your unique expression with the world, then you are in your divine soul mission on planet Earth. Then people that are saying, if I'm not going to take any action until I know what my mission is, this is, it's coming from a very much third dimensional mindset, because these people, they want to be given and told what to do instead of them discovering through their own journey who they are and what makes them excited. So, when we start doing this work, the 70 Arcturian Council of Light were actually, people were so excited. What is my mission? What is my mission? What is my star family? Am I Pleiadian? Am I Sirian?
Yeah, a lot of people are very curious about that.
Yeah. So, the council was like, they were excited as well, and they were riding that wave of excitement with them. And they start to tell them, you are from there, this is your mission. And then people start to feel completely overwhelmed, because it's like, oh my God, if this is my mission, it's like, this is the version of me.
Yeah.
And my mission is in a new version of me. How am I going to bridge the gap? And people got overwhelmed. So in time and space, the council decided at some point, we are not going to share with anyone what their mission is. What we're going to do is we're going to activate them, and then they will download on their own their divine soul mission on planet Earth in their own divine timing, because people got overwhelmed.
Let's say that the key is to go from fear to love. And how can we do it on a very simple... Can we have like a very simple routine to go from a space to fear and doubt and anxiety, and to this open the heart and
Yes.
be in this surrender and this trust and faith state?
Yes. So people can actually start to explore the path of self-love.
Okay.
Where is the path of loving kindness and relating to them differently than before. Making more time for self-care, for meditation, for spending time in nature, for silence.
Yes.
For removing, in their life, all distractions.
It could be scary because
Yes.
we are not used to go to this illusion of emptiness. We try to fill our lives with a lot of stuff and be busy always. So when we have to slow down and go into that silence, into the nature, it could be scary for many of people, because
Yes.
it's related to like, oh, I'm not busy anymore. It's so empty. How can I face that?
And that emptiness and stillness brings so much things up that people are trying to bottle in and cover up with busyness and so many things, that they are trying to fill that empty space.
Yes.
And I think that's the first rite of passage or gateway, is
Okay.
for them to actually surrender to that silence and stay being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because you cannot transform if you're comfortable. I never seen a person transforming being so comfortable.
Yeah.
You have to fear, like to face your fear.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of fear that's coming up into a space where someone is just empty.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the starting point.
Thank you, Livia. Oh my God, there is so much. We could stay hours. If someone is listening to us and is like, oh my God, I wanna follow that woman. I wanna know more about her. So you have a website,
I do.
liviadevi.com.
.com, yes.
Yeah. You are on Instagram too.
Yes.
I think people can also find some resources. We're gonna give the link.
We have
Everything.
free resources on our website at liviadevi.com. People can find me on Instagram, Livia Devi or Arcturians Channeling, Livia Devi on Facebook, LinkedIn as well.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Livia. You shared so many things. I mean, I'm gonna go away with this when you spoke about trust and surrender. It was a beautiful key that you shared. So thank you for that.
Thank you. It was a beautiful conversation.
Yes. Thank you, guys. And subscribe to the channel and share this video with your friends. And I'm happy to meet you in another conversation.